Hello, my dance friends, and welcome to my channel. So, for many dancers, artists, performers in general, the year 2020 has ushered in much solitary time, the opportunity to innovate your performance style, to learn a lot about technology, sound, videography, editing, Zoom, and it's forced many of us to transform how we show our art. For some, it's been a time of inspiration, digging deep into innovation, creating new choreographies, working on new costumes, working with new music, working with non-licensed musics, and all in the luxurious privacy of your own room. Maybe it's been a big challenge, maybe it's been a big gift, and hopefully you've been able to pull through, keep your art, pay the bills, and continue to find inspiration. So I've been thinking about all the ways that I become inspired or work towards creating a choreography for a group or for myself, and I wanted to chat with you today about 7 tips for becoming inspired with dance. This could be for creating a new choreography, working on your own stylization, picking up a different dance practice, or just finding truer movement for your own body. So these are 7 tips that I often use or learn from others to create inspiration when I felt kind of burnt out or desperate. And it's been very helpful during this year. So without further ado, let's get to it. Tip number 1. When I feel like I'm in a rut, I really like to just turn on music I would never normally dance to, or that I really enjoy listening to but don't usually put on for dance class or for rehearsal time or drill time, and just improv with it. See what moves come up. And I would definitely suggest filming yourself while you're doing this, because your body will instinctively move to the music that you're listening to, and it may not be your normal movement. So you might want to capture that. This doesn't have to be music that you don't enjoy. It should definitely be based on what will get you moving. Or you could optionally have a friend randomly pick a song or an artist for you to study for a day. Tip number 2, which seems pretty obvious, but maybe explore a new dance style, whether it's just diving into YouTube videos or support another local artist and enroll in a class or a workshop, especially for a dance style you don't normally incorporate into what you usually perform. Maybe hip-hop, ballet, burlesque, modern, there are so many more. Maybe your performances are usually very isolated in that you don't move around the stage very often, or your space. Maybe you want to take a class that focuses more on footwork or weight changes that you're not used to. Maybe you're looking to move your arms a little more when you perform, and you might look into utilizing a prop or another dance style that will focus more on arm movements. Maybe you just want to focus more on your stage presence, which can be helpful whether you're creating a video edit, which most of us are doing now, or performing for a live audience that you want to connect with. Maybe you'll want to look for a teacher that is focusing on creating comfort and confidence within yourself, your body movement, and your connection to a camera or to the audience. Sometimes creating that confidence within yourself, whether it's through a sensuality class or yoga or breathing, a way to focus on yourself, allows you to bring in more of that confidence and bravery in your dance. Tip number 3, creating an emotion or a character for your performance. So perhaps you've heard a piece of music that inspires emotion within you, or you have a specific theme that you want to go for a specific performance or workshop, or you're just trying to bring that emotion or theme out more in your dance style. Then I would suggest studying the character, studying other dancers who are creating the character or the emotion that you're going for, and finding appropriate music that will evoke those feelings or the feelings that you are assuming the character will need to be created from you. So compiling a playlist would be helpful as well. It's also nice to dress the part. Maybe your sexy lingerie or your boxer briefs or whatever it is that makes you feel empowered, courageous, confident. Maybe you're trying to evoke sadness or deep grief or longing, and you want to wear something that is looser, more flowy, makes you feel like you can move more freely. So you could wear a robe or a flowy wrap or flowy pants. If you're creating a character, maybe you want to add costumey effects that represent whatever that character may be for you. Adding makeup, certain colors to what you're wearing, a headpiece, jewelry, or really focusing on displaying that character through your gaze. There are so many ways you can embody an emotion or a character, and you just have to explore what you have. So start with one thing and just build from that. Tip number 4. Sometimes it's fun to see what your body instinctually does when it hears a sound. So maybe you're watching a movie and there's a scene where there's a lot of traffic. Move your body to whatever horns are going off at different times. Or the most annoying sound in the world, laughter. The sound of a can opener, the sound of a washing machine, weird sounds that come through in music, or maybe certain stretches of a song that you really like, just to see how your body reacts to that sound and movement. Tip number 5, mimicking an animal or creature. So you can focus on your pet, or a bird, or lion, butterfly, shark. There's so many creatures out there that you can focus on while you're creating your movement. And this might allow you to use movement that you already know to create new combinations or to alter your style a little bit. Or this could also be a fun theme for a piece of music that evokes that animal or creature for you. Maybe cat, dog, yoga poses, really taking that movement or stillness and adding it into what you already have a language of within your own body. Plus, it's always really fun to see what you come up with when you're trying to mimic a T-Rex. Tip number 6, build off of an inspiring piece of music. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a section of music, whether it's the intro, the build-up, the middle, and I've just fallen in love with it. And from there, I'm inspired to create a little combo to that section and build off of that to create an entire choreography. I find that I am usually more easily able to build off of that small section of movement once I start in the section that is most inspiring to me. You may also hear a section of music and see a character or feel a storyline building. So perhaps this small section of music is really just the beginning of a story for you, or the middle, or the end. And then you can build your storyline from that small section that inspired you in the first place. All right, final tip 7. Sometimes just using games helps inspire. So these can be group games, which are obviously difficult to come by right now. You can play telephone with movement, add-on, where somebody will do a few counts and then the next person will repeat that, add something on, and then continue to go around the circle. You could also play add-on and add personal interpretation, which is really easy to do because when you have a few seconds to see something and try to mimic it, it's probably going to be a little different, and it's neat to see what people come up with. Other games that are really great for inspiring new movement, especially if you feel like your drills are a little dry or you want to try to challenge yourself a little more with whatever you're creating, are Dicelations and Rocks Rummy. Dicelations was created by dancer Kendra Katz and includes 6 dice, or die, 2 gray, 2 white, and 2 black. The gray die indicate optional foot patterns you can attempt. The white die are for chest work, and the black die are for hip work. These include locks, circles, arrows, squares, all sorts of combinations of movements. You have 2 die because one of them is for timing, which is especially challenging if you're combining all 3 of them together. Rocks Rummy is a card game with a similar concept. This was created by dancer Steven Eggers and includes tempo options, isolations, counts, direction or spatial movement, so optional level changes or weight changes, and just the moves themselves. This is a great way to improve your drills or create new movement that you don't normally combine in your own body, and to generally make your foundational movement much stronger. All right guys, those are the 7 tips that I have learned or just found myself utilizing throughout the years, especially recently, and I hope you find them helpful. If you have any tips for creating dance inspiration, please comment below. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to make more videos like this for you. Thanks so much, guys.